What's important to us would be spending time with our family and our kids, and our kids who are grown adults still come camping with us. So that's, and we've got friends that all have caravans. We all go away together from time to time. We don't do it as much as we should. So it's probably something that we need to prioritize a little bit more. But that's probably really, probably come home more so in the last few days than ever before. So
yeah, time. Like, I've always been an outdoors girl. We sort of come off farm and all that. So just being outdoors is pretty special.
Yeah.
And just so having that freedom to be outside and just experience the great outdoors, as they say, in luxury.
Dean and Paula McKenzie, we're from Druin in Gippsland. Yeah, well, we've had this van for just on 3 years. We've done about 12,000 kilometres in it, just in travels, nothing too long. Probably the longest we've done is about 3 weeks, to South Australia. The main thing that was important to me, Paula might be a little bit different, was the quality of the build. That was the number one thing. I've been in and out of many caravans and I couldn't fault the quality in this van, and that was something that I was pretty particular on. Well, I reckon we saw them, and I've actually asked Fab about this. I actually reckon we saw them at their first caravan show that they did in Maui. It'd probably be 12, 13, maybe 14 years ago now. We saw them there, walked in, went, gee, these vans look great. And they were always in the back of our mind. At the time, we weren't ready to buy, but as time went on, we saw them at a couple of different caravan shows that we went to, and again, have a wander through, and was the same things that stood out way back then that stood out when we actually ended up buying. So, yeah, the quality and the value for money. We looked at some real high-end vans, and we were almost at the point of buying a higher-end van. Came back to these guys, and I just could not go past the value for money with the inclusions that were included in this van, which actually were more than what were in the other van that we were going to buy. And from a value proposition and quality, I just couldn't part with the additional money. So we had to come back here. I think that was probably in a nutshell, really.
We were taken with the care, I guess, and that we were being shown vans by someone who was pretty genuine about their product, and so that also swayed myself as well, was that the care of their product. Like they just knew the product, and they were able to talk about any part of the product, were quite passionate about the product they were producing, and are passionate about trying to keep their quality shipshape as well. That's what came across, that was, and they cared about the people who were purchasing their product, and the care of producing the product for the person, but also making sure they knew how to use the product. That was one thing.
First inquiry, we made an appointment to go into the factory. We did our colours, went through any options that we wanted to have. That all got priced up on the day, and we pretty much walked out of there with a contract that we were happy with, and the price that we were happy with. We built this van was built during COVID, so they told us up front it was going to be a 12-month wait, and I think it turned out being 11. Which was fine, no issues there. And then day of handover, I rocked up thinking, we'll be an hour. I think it was about 6 hours, 6-hour handover. By the time we did the full walk around, Joe showed us through everything, how to use everything. It was so thorough. It was amazing, really amazing experience actually. So we'd had a couple of caravans, so I guess I knew a little bit about caravans, but I think Joe said to me, Dean, you're not buying a stock standard caravan here. this caravan has got a lot of features, and I need to show you how to use them properly. So I think from their side, they probably had a duty of care to make sure that we knew when we drove out that how to use everything, and that we weren't going to have any issues down the track. So it was a great experience, it really was. Well, the model we have is a Garrison. What we love most about it is it's pretty much got everything that we want for being off-grid or being in a caravan park. We've got a dedicated drinking water tank, which we put in as an extra, which is we use that all the time. We don't need to carry any additional water with us. We put airbag suspension in here, which pulling up to a campsite just makes it so much easier. Just had a lot of people tell me about how good they were when you pull up. It's just so easy to set up. And I'm like, yeah, okay, there'll probably be times where you'll still need to pull a ramp out, but we haven't come across that yet. The airbags, actually, the articulation in the airbags is quite like they move a lot. So yeah, we haven't come across a spot yet where I've had to put one side up on a ramp or anything. So we've put in additional Sirocco fans. One of the features of this caravan that's standard is the max fan over the bed, which keeps the caravan so cool, especially when it's hot. You don't have to run your aircon. You can just have the max fan on. If it gets wet outside, it automatically closes. And then in the evening, if it's still warm in the van, you can reverse the fan and it blows cool air in. So great feature.
It was actually not something that we really knew anything about. It was like, what's that going to do? But yeah, that's
amazing.
Good.
Amazing bit of gear.
On the inverter for the coffee machine.
That's
Come on.
right. That's right. We had an inverter put in for just to make a coffee. How you do? The trips we take, we normally do a bit of both. So we do a little bit of in caravan park stuff, but we don't tend to stay too long in caravan parks. We like to be off grid because we can be. So we've done a number of trips, 7, 8, 9 days where we haven't even been in the caravan park. You just got to find water. That's generally the only thing that limits how far away you can go. But there's a lot of towns these days that have water points. You can fill up. There's no issue with that. But yeah, being able to travel and stop anywhere pretty much that.
And have coffee.
And have coffee. The van's got everything. So staying off grid, not an issue. That's our preference. So yeah.
I'll touch on these little L-shaped couch here because that's great for, when you have to come in when the weather's a little inclement outside and you've got to get a few extra people around the couch. You can sort of squeeze in and you can put a few extras around. So it's a good. This is one of the what is this 19
foot 6.
19.6, yeah, and I know that's sort of one of the smaller on the smaller side, but the space in here is still it's still quite spacey, and but that makes it quite not close. No, what's the word I'm trying to think?
It's still reasonably spacious in here.
Yeah, it's still spacey enough that you can get in here and get out of the weather if you need to, and still be cozy and warm, which is always good when it's not great outside.
And if you are free camping, we've got a diesel heater, so we can put the diesel heater on if it's cold outside, and stays nice and cozy in here as well. So that's another great feature. It's comfortable to tow. I mean, so long as you tow to the conditions, you don't go crazy, then towing this van is fine. It's no issue whatsoever. It's not a super heavy van. The van we had before this was probably a little bit lighter, so this is a little bit heavier van, but tows very well. Even in the wind, no issues. Like I said, so long as you tow to the conditions, there's no issue with that at all. So it has the 2-song sway control, which is a great feature, and I've not had any issues at all. Having airbag suspension also helps with the towing as well. It just gives the van a smoother ride, doesn't jump around all over the place. So getting in and out of places is great. It's easy to use the suspension as well. You can alter the level of the van up very easy. So yeah, we can pull up anywhere, pretty much any time, and be comfortable, whether we're in a caravan park, camping in 35 degrees or camping in 5 degrees. It's, the van just does what you want it to do. So, and that's one of the great features of the van. I've got the barbecue set up in there on a slide. It's just pull it out, cook, and push it back in when you're done. And it's super easy. So again, you can pull up anywhere, do that. You can pull up on the side of the road, make a cup of coffee, cook something, and then continue on your way.
Sometimes I sort of look into cupboards and, you know, look at the storage. We were actually talking today saying it's just we've never used the storage under the seats and things because there's just
there's just so much to fill up. You just don't use it.
We fill up the cupboards the best we can, and there's still more space. So it's great storage, and even in the bathroom, there's such a good storage space in there for all your towels and things that you've got to drag around, and that are usually quite bulky. But there seems to be space that comes out of nowhere. I don't know. It just works.
When we got our caravan home, we had a couple of small issues. I spoke to them on the phone and it was sorted out straight away. And that is really the only time that we've had reason to call them about anything with the van. After that got sorted out, we haven't had any need to call them about anything. So I would absolutely recommend this to a friend or anybody looking to buy a Salute caravan. Value for money, the quality of the van, and their service. Their after-sale service, you couldn't go wrong.
For me, it's actually probably in one sentence. It was like I've just been stoked that we feel like we made such a smart choice. That was we'd made the smart choice, and we've ended up with a fun, quality van. Yeah, that was all pretty easy. You always go into buying, something substantial like this as well, and you kind of go, are they going to try and rip you off here, or are you going to try and rip you off there? And there was never any feeling of that at all. There was never anything like that. You sort of felt, and you kind of got to the end and went, oh, how good are we? How smart are we picking these guys?
Yeah,